Am I looking at the camera this whole time?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not like,
Oh, okay.
but, looking at it, engaging with the people on the other side of the
Oh,
screen.
that's right.
Yeah, there's people there. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Dan's with me this week because we are going to be making a coat of arms. Dan has had this book with his family for really as long as you can remember, yeah?
Yeah, haven't woke up a day without it. As a kid, anyway.
It's been under his pillow every night. I thought it would be really cool to go through this book and design our own coat of arms. It's really, really nifty. It goes through and walks you through step by step everything that you need and what a lot of the things mean, which I thought was really awesome. And for those of you who don't know, basically a coat of arms is a distinctive design worn by different warriors when they would go off to war. And because all of them wore the same armor, you couldn't tell any of them apart. So they would make these designs with these different symbols and colors to set them all apart from each other. So when they were in battle, you knew who was who. These designs would be passed down from generation to generation, father to son, father to daughter, and eventually people called heralds were put in charge of actually keeping track of all of these designs and all of these coats of arms and the lineage that followed all of them, because from generation to generation sometimes the designs would change slightly. So then these heralds kept track of what all of those were, and eventually this became a really good way for people to track their family genealogies. Put it down, I have to finish this intro. Okay. So as far as I know, Dan and I don't have any coat of arms for our families.
Nope.
So we thought it'd be really cool to make our own using this book. So while we are going through and designing our own coat of arms for us as a family, I will then also be doing a voiceover walking you guys through quickly all of the steps that we are going through so that you know the process as well. And then when we are done designing ours, we will come back and explain it to you.
You'll never give me one of these again. Or ask me to be in them anyway.
Or I'll just ask you to be in a lot of them to get you used to it.
We'll see.
The first step in making your coat of arms is picking out a shield. The shield is the most important part, obviously, and this book provided 8 different shields to choose from. Now, every step after this point, you can pick and choose between. You don't have to choose an option from every step. You can completely omit certain steps, and that's totally fine. It is all your choice. So the next step, if you're wanting more than one color on your shield, would be the parting the field. And the options given allow for 2 or 3 colors, but no more if you're wanting to keep your shield traditional. You also have the option of different patterned lines if you didn't want them to be straight. The next design choices are the charges, or devices. These are broken up into 3 categories. You have your ordinaries and subordinaries, your floral and fauna, and other devices. Ordinaries and subordinaries are geometric in nature, and they also do not need to have straight lines. You can combine ordinaries and subordinaries along with other devices in lots of different ways, but you should only have one ordinary on your shield. Floral and fauna are just that, animals and plants. Only a few are shown in the book, but nothing is off limits. You don't even have to include them in their entirety. So if you just want a lion's head, go for it. If your favorite part of a tree is the roots, more power to ya. The other devices are celestial, man-made, and human forms. Again, the possibilities are endless. The next section is tinctures. Tinctures? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Or colors. This is also divided into 3 sections: metals, colors, and furs. The 2 metals used in coat of arms are gold and silver. Gold is represented by yellow in a lot of cases, and silver is white. If you use gold or silver paints or colors for your coat of arms instead of the yellow or white that symbolize them, you cannot use yellow or white as additional colors in the coat of arms. For colors, there are only a few traditional colors that are used: red, blue, green, purple, and black. Other colors can be used, but they're considered more untraditional. Human flesh may be colored the appropriate shade or left uncolored, and helmets, which we'll get to later, are depicted as gray. Furs, from what I could gather, were these patterns you could put on your shield, and when shields began having more details on them, it would sometimes become hard to make out the different designs. So to help avoid this, they made the rule that you could not layer colors, so you couldn't make a red shield with a red ordinary on it. So I'm pretty sure that's what these furs are there for as well, to add more variety, to allow the layering of colors to not need to happen. That part still confused me a little bit. So once all the components of the shield were done, it was then time to choose a helmet. Different helmets were used to denote social rank on a coat of arms. Royalty and knights were allowed certain styles and colors, while commoners used only gray helmets. Next up are the mantles. Silk mantles were worn over the heads and helmets of soldiers to protect them from the sun. On a coat of arms, they are displayed elaborately twisted in the air around the helmet. The crest wreath is what attaches the mantle to the helmet. All it is 2 pieces of silk twisted into 6 twists on top of the helmet. Fanciful crests are worn above the wreath and can be anything from animals to plants to humans or any part of any of those things. Mottos are words or short phrases written on scrolls that usually go below the shield. The motto frequently alludes to the bearer's name or can be their war cry. There is a whole nother aspect to coat of arms called marshalling, and that is essentially displaying 2 or more coat of arms on one shield. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it. You can see on the screen sort of an example of a family tree where the shields are sort of getting meshed together and combined for different families. But for Dan and Mai's coat of arms that we are making, we sort of loosely followed this to just create one coat of arms, rather than each of us making our own and then making a third that combined the 2. Welcome back! Hope you enjoyed that little history lesson. You will be quizzed at the end of this video. So Dan and I went ahead and finished our coat of arms and got it all put together and colored, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think Dan is too. This is what it looks like all finished in all of its glory. We knew that we wanted to have at least 2 different colors, so we did end up parting this shield some. For the ordinaries and subordinaries, we chose an ordinary and we picked out the cross to put in the top triangle of the shield. The fauna and plants, we went for one of each, actually. We chose the tree and the owl, and the reasoning behind those 2, the owl, beside it being my favorite bird, it does sort of represent wisdom and knowledge, and both of us, in talking about it, thought that would be really cool to have on our shield. And what about the tree?
It's usually, a sign of, or symbolizes fruitfulness, loyalty, persistence, self-giving, that sort of thing, and bark.
Gotta love bark. The helmet, we knew that we wanted a helmet on there, so we looked at the different ones that there were, kind of played around with it a little bit, and decided on this one, and we went for a solid gray, because
we're peasants.
Basically, yeah. Yes, according to the book, you only had other colors like gold or silver on there if you were royalty or of noble stature, which we are not, and we weren't really interested in faking it, so solid gray. The mantle that we went with, we thought it would be fun to throw one in. There wasn't really any specific reasoning behind it, and the only other thing that we added was the scroll or the motto section at the bottom.
Now, what you'll find is a Greek translation of Isaiah 61:3, which is from the Septuagint. That's the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. And it pulls a phrase from near the end of the verse, which translates, or it says, "Klephesontai genei dikaiasunes," which translated means they will be called generations of righteousness, or sometimes translated in English, straight from the Hebrew, they will be called oaks of righteousness, which was probably, I think, the most symbolic thing I was trying to look for in connection with the tree. So that is what we have there at the scroll.
Overall, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I actually thought this would be sort of just a fun little experiment of, like, oh, this is kind of a cute little coat of arms for the family, haha, like, that's cute, aw, and then we'd throw it away after the video ended, and that would be it. But I actually want to keep this. Like, I really, really like this, and I would totally be down for doing some sort of cool project of making it bigger and more legit looking at some point. But that is all that I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed having Dan in this video, comment down below so that I can rope him into more videos, because I like having him in videos too. And I will have links to his blog and his channel as well in the description below if you wanted to go check those out. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!
It has to be succinct.
Mm-hmm. And you can take a few seconds and think about it and then say it, because I can edit lots of things out.
That's true.
Like this conversation.
Mm-hmm.